My fellow citizens, we received confirmation from investigators that our fears regarding Planet Reagan are realized. I know you are hearing the same rumors as I, of a battle, a war. We do not know the source of the vessels, nor what their endgame was. At this point, we believe this to be an isolated terrorist attack of unprecedented magnitude. Ladies and gentlemen, I know your concerns, but let me assure you, you are safe here on Earth. So, our focus turns to those who are responsible for this attack. We will find them. We will punish them.
And we're clear, Madam President. The numbers are already coming in with an 87% acceptance.
Very good. Excellent. Now get me Murdoch. I want answers.
End alarm.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, Jeeves.
Your morning rations have been placed on the kitchen counter for you to ingest at your leisure. Please note, this is the 23rd time you have forgotten to change out of your work clothes prior to your evening rest.
Yes, thank you, Jeeves. I so love being reminded of my inability to stay awake long enough to change.
Per your previous request, I will now list the reasons that you should remember to change clothes. First, laundry services will no longer give you dirty looks when you bring in your clothes.
Yes, I know. Cancel my previous order.
As you request, please note that you are due at Mars Intergalactic Starport in 1 hour. Engaging morning news wave.
The trial of Royce McGregor, mastermind behind the Reagan disaster, begins this week. McGregor is being tried at an undisclosed location within Alliance Command, and we just received word that the event will be waived across the galaxy. Alliance Command is still seeking the death penalty, despite protests by several alien ambassadors. If McGregor were to be found guilty, it'll be the first time in 423 years that capital punishment was utilized. Steve Bethay, UEA News.
End transmission.
Welcome aboard, young lady. We just received clearance to depart. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Get you there in about an hour, give or take.
The president will see me now. Stay here.
Madam President, I'm sorry, but that answer is completely unacceptable to the Dragor people. I should remind you that we are completely opposed to the whole execution thing.
Well, Ambassador, I'm sure that the 6 billion souls on the planet would differ with that Dragor assessment of the situation.
Alleged people of Reagan. We have no evidence to support the claim that there was ever any living sentient beings on Reagan.
Alliance ships explored the surface of the planet from orbit and determined that there was a pre-industrial society living on the southern continent.
That claim came from a 200-year-old report. 3 lines from a captain known for dereliction of duty.
And now who's spouting claims, Ambassador?
Dragor galleons never discovered any sentient beings on Reagan.
Of course not. If they had, they would have been guilty of pirating raids on Reagan. Let's just call a spade a spade. There was plenty of motive for them not to find anyone on the planet.
Regardless, that doesn't excuse what you're trying to do. If you want to put on a monkey show trial, fine. But two wrongs are not going to make this right.
Show trial? I don't like your accusations, Ambassador. And let me remind you that you are here as a courtesy and have no dominion over our laws. I'll take into consideration the concerns of the Dragor people during sentencing. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Ambassador. Colonel, thank you for coming. Please sit. I trust that you were made comfortable.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to keep you too long, so I'll get right to the point. We both know the situation. The people want justice. Justice for all the lives lost.
Yes, ma'am.
I've been informed that a Mars colonist is taking on the task of defending this monster, and that she'll be arriving this afternoon.
Technically, ma'am, she is a citizen of the Alliance. She did put in the minimum 2 years' time in the military service while she was in law school. It's my understanding she just entered back into civilian life, but I have to be honest, I'm not sure why she was chosen instead of a military officer.
Between you and I, it's not fair that an officer's career should suffer a defeat. Besides, he's due a defense. Just not our best and brightest.
I understand, ma'am.
Since this is her first time in a real courtroom, I think that a quick ending would be best.
Absolutely, ma'am.
You've just seen there's a small contingent that believes that we were a bit hasty in our decision to seek execution. You may find yourself under scrutiny from the masses. If that's something that you're not comfortable with, we could seek a plea agreement.
May I speak freely? This off-worlder stands no chance. It'll be over before it starts, and we get about the business of exacting justice in the only manner that a heathen like McGregor understands.
Very well. We're all depending on you.
Understood, Madam President.
I think that you have a very bright future in politics, should you choose it.
Thank you, Madam President. I appreciate your support.
Dismissed.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Your first time going hyperlight in a small craft?
Yes. Well, actually, it's my first time in space at all.
Oh, great. Here, you're gonna need that.
What for? Oh.
That? How do you get to your age and manage not to make it into space?
I never had any reason to leave the surface.
Whatever you say, sweetheart. The ejection port's on the left.
I'm sorry?
The bag?
Oh. Yes, of course.
Incoming shuttle. You have it on our screen now?
Control, this is transport shuttle designated Charon's Raft, serial number 15901, requesting permission to enter orbit and dock at Macaron Spaceport.
Negative, Charon. You will divert to the coordinates being waved to your navigation module now. Please have your passenger provide the proper clearance code entry.
Here.
What the hell? Who the hell are you?
Charon, we require your clearance authorization code.
Yeah, keep your shirt on. What are you? Paramilitary? Some kind of spy?
No. I'm a public defender.
No way.
Clearance authenticated, Charon. Continue on provided course. Charon, continue on provided course.
Acknowledge, Control. Entering approach.
Everyone is entitled to a proper defense.
He was found in an escape pod. How much more guilt do you want? Trial's a waste of time.
I understand your feelings.
Sorry.
Sorry?
I said I'm sorry. It's not like you nuked Reagan. But you're probably going to run into a lot of that down there. Just be ready for it. Most people aren't as nice as I am. Oh, here. Take that. If you didn't like hyperlight, just wait until we hit the ionosphere.
What?
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Well,
The shuttle landed about 20 minutes ago, sir.
I'm aware of that, Newman. Where's the kid?
I really don't know, sir. But with all due respect, this is her first time here.
Damn off-rollers. Is that file correct? She's never flown before today?
I need to check, sir. I'm afraid I'm not up to speed on Miss Strauss's personal history, I'm afraid.
Don't bother. Miss Strauss, I presume? Yeah. Maybe a little difficult breathing when you're used to oxygen pumps pushing around your atmosphere. Well, maybe only go adjust in a half hour or so. I'm Colonel Gary Massey. I represent the Alliance on the case in this matter. This is my assistant, Newman. Newman, for God's sakes, help her up before I have to call a medical officer. So I assume you've read the indictment in the case against your client? We can all just agree it's just a show for the sheep. No, look, I know it's your first case. This had to be a big deal. Just don't put forth any objections and present whatever defense you came up with, and we'll convict the guy, shoot the bastard, and have you home in time for supper.
I don't believe it'll be that simple. I have a copy of...
A request for continuance? Don't you realize we're supposed to go live with this case in less than an hour?
I haven't met with my client yet.
Have you not heard what I've been telling you?
With all due respect, sir, you don't have any right to tell me how to defend my client. And your rank doesn't hold any weight. I'm a civilian now.
Sir, the magistrate has granted the defense their continuance.
Well, looks like we're getting off on the wrong foot after all. Newman, make sure she gets to meet with her client and arrange some living quarters for her. And get her a medic before she falls into a coma. Let me tell you, after you meet with the psycho, we're going to have a little meeting to discuss how you will not be wasting the court's time.
Oxygen levels normal. Please remove mask now.
There better be a damn good reason I'm here. I hate this blue marble.
Sammy. Oh, am I glad you're here.
Yeah, I'll bet you are. Yeah, they're not too kind to us Martians around here. Not refined enough for their tastes, I guess.
Please.
So, what the hell am I doing here?
Dad always said you were his best investigator.
Damn right I was.
And he told me on his deathbed if I ever needed anything...
Now let me stop you right there. I'm here on account of that whole deathbed thing. But I'm retired now. I play golf.
I know.
3 days a week.
I know.
If I don't fondle my clubs that often, they get pissed at me. It's like having a wife half your age. You know what happens when my clubs get pissed?
They hurt your game.
That's right. They hurt my game.
They're going to kill him, Sam.
Well, that's what happens when you kill a few billion people. You even talked to him yet?
No.
Start there. In the meantime, I'll take a stroll on one of their courses.
Thanks, Sam.
I did not say yes. I want to hear what he has to say first.
I'm Stephanie Strauss, public defender for Royce McGregor.
I know you are. Come with me. So I'm sure you understand the rules?
Rules?
The rules. Really simple. Don't hand the prisoner anything. Don't give the prisoner anything he could use as a weapon. And above all else, stay 3 feet away from the prisoner at all times. Do you understand?
Yes, but I don't see what all the fuss is about.
He's nearly crippled 3 people since he's been here. Damn near killed a guard yesterday. I'd like to see you make it out alive. Otherwise, it's my ass. Last door on the left. Good luck.
No bars, no door?
He'll reach through a bar. He'll kick down a door. There's a button just outside in case you need us. Have a good interview.
Good God. Get him out of these restraints.
Not a chance we've heard.
You will get my client out of these restraints in accordance with the Treaty of Alberbod, or I'll have your job now. And I'm not your sweetheart, Private.
You want him out of the binders? Here. You unlock him. I'm not about to risk my life. You're on your own, public defender.
Captain McGregor. I'm Stephanie Strauss. I've been assigned to your case as your public defender. They've told me that I'm really not permitted to come within 3 feet of you because you're too violent. I would like to believe that we can sit down and have a reasonable conversation. But I also don't want to die today. Okay, Captain, we need to get started. I met with the council for the state, and they have every intention of railroading you as fast as possible. So, I don't have a lot of time to mount a defense, but I have everything necessary for disclosure being sent to my quarters as we speak. I just need you to help me fill in some of the blanks.
Get out.
I'm sorry, Captain. Perhaps you didn't hear me correctly. I'm your defense attorney.
I don't care who you are, little girl. Get out.
No.
What do you mean, no?
I have a job to do, whether you like it or not. We're going to get you through this. I'm going to get you through this.
You can't. Don't you get it? I'm guilty. The truth doesn't matter here. All that matters is I go on covering for their asses yet again. After everything I've been through. All those bastards care about is the last 5 minutes of my command.
Are you a terrorist, Captain?
Freedom fighter.
Someone would argue that means the same thing.
Is that your thinking on it?
Semantics, I suppose.
Is it? Or is it a matter of perspective?
Perspective on who is right and who is wrong?
More like, who has something to hide? Or worse yet, something they're not willing to lose.
Captain, did you kill all those people? Did you destroy that planet?
No.
You're something of a mystery. Your file shows that your ship and crew were lost in an unexpected encounter with a malevolent species about 8 years ago. The
Vroom.
Yes. The Vroom. I thought they were extinct.
They are. Now.
Clearly the file's wrong. You weren't lost. In fact, you turned up years later, captaining a warship. Where do you get a warship, Captain? Did you get it from the Murin? The Dracor?
No.
Well, who was it? Who gave you the ship? Why aren't you talking? What are you hiding? They call you a terrorist. But terrorists gloat. They take credit for what they do and flaunt it all over the universe. You stay silent. You want to know what I think?
Not particularly.
I think when the Vril attacked, you weren't the only one that survived. Your ship, the Armstrong, it was experimental. It had an enormous battle pod that did double duty as an escape vessel. No other ship in the fleet had that. There's no way you got on, and nobody else did. So where are they, Captain? Where's your crew? That's what this is all about, isn't it? Your silence, the reason you're willing to accept whatever they give you. You're protecting your crew.
I don't have a crew anymore.
What about them?
Remus?
Sir?
She's still with him?
Yes, sir. He's choking her!
Shit.
Sound the alarm!
Get him again. And again.
Stop! That's enough!
Daddy, soldier. We're done.
Jesus, Peeps, are you all right?
I'm okay. What happened
In
was...
her wisdom, little Miss Stupid here decided to unlock the shackles from a convict and almost got herself strangled. And you are...
You did what?
Look, there was this situation
Excuse me!
where...
This is part of the top secret investigation. You are whom exactly?
I'm Sam Forrester. I'm the investigator for the defense.
Ah, Forrester. Your reputation precedes you. Shame what happened to your wife. Did they ever catch the killer?
Sam.
Not yet.
Pity. Mars can be such a dangerous place.
You know, you ought to come by and find out for yourself.
No thanks. I'm happy where I'm at. Seems like everything is in order here now. I'll just leave you with the child.
Let me guess. That's the opposition.
Yes.
I really don't like that guy.
Yeah, he's a real asshole.
Don't live in him, peeps. That guy is the whole ass. And just what the fuck were you thinking?
Let me explain.
You know what? I don't want to hear it. I lost your father, then I lose Kelly, and now I almost lose you. You're lucky those guards were there to save your ass.
They didn't save me.
Well, that's not what it sounds like.
He let me go, Sam. Right before they barged in and beat him half to death, he let me go.
Let me get this straight. You expect me to believe this imbecile destroys a planet, kills millions of people, and right in the middle of choking you out, all of a sudden gets a change of heart? What the hell did you say to set him off in the first place?
I was trying to get him to talk to me. I know he's hiding something. I mentioned his family, and he flipped out.
Family. Yeah, family. Wife, 2 kids, on a ship, drill attacks, destroys the whole thing. They find some pieces of the damn thing a couple weeks later.
I thought you were golfing.
I was also golfing.
What if they weren't killed? What if they got out when he did?
But so we got a whole family of terrorists?
Or freedom fighters. He wouldn't come right out and say anything, but he kept hinting at something like, we've got it all wrong.
You know, I was serious at your quarters earlier today. I wasn't sure I was going to take this case.
But
I left, and on the way to the golf course there was a library, and I sort of made my way in, and... Well, anyway, media says that it was 3 ships that destroyed that planet.
Right, but initial reports say
But the original reports said it was 1 ship, one really big one, and 2 others that were trying to save that planet.
If that's true,
Then we need to know which one your little buddy was on.
disclosure files should be in my quarters by now.
Yeah. Yo, Doc, she good to go?
Yeah, she's fine. You can take her.
Okay. Let's do this.
Nightingale to base. I have intel. I need to come in.
What the?
Jesus, peeps. The entire disclosure's on paper.
Why would they send it to us this way? Why wouldn't they just have it digitally?
I have no idea.
What did you find?
It's McGregor's transcript from the academy.
Why would they send us that?
I have no idea.
Great. We have court in the morning. Apparently, the state wants to file a motion.
That slimy bastard. He's hiding something. He knows something that he doesn't want us to find.
Well, he has to tell us.
Oh, he has. He's buried it in all of this. Like where we're going to find it in 12 hours.
Is there a catalog?
Yeah. In some sort of hexadecimal system.
Did they give you any encryption key?
No. Which means there's about 4 people in the quadrant that could read this.
What do we do now?
We start digging. Hope we run into whatever it is they're trying to hide. And you better be ready to file some retaliatory motion tomorrow, one way or the other, no matter what they bring up.
What time is it?
Late. Or early, depending on how you want to look at it.
We're never going to find what they're hiding.
Maybe not. But, check this out.
What am I missing?
That alien necklace of yours.
Yes, Sam. It's called a Dahlin. To the Senaton monks, it represents your birth element.
Whatever. Anyway, you were wearing it earlier, I take it, right? You never take the thing off.
Yes, why do you keep mentioning that?
Look again, right there.
Wait, he was married by a Senaton monk on Marilia?
Uh-huh.
Sam, is it possible? Is it possible that he saw it? He saw my Dahlin. Thinks of her. Lets me go. Because he saw my Dahlin. You know, Sam, I thought his wife was alive before, but now I'm not so sure.
What makes you say that?
His face was in agony. When he let me go, his face was in the kind of agony I've only ever seen once before, and that was when you lost Kelly, sorry.
Look, you know, the thing I don't get is, how does this guy go from being married and part of a culture that believes in peace above everything else to all of a sudden becoming the biggest mass murderer the galaxy's ever seen?
He doesn't.
But he did. Look, peeps, even if he was on that ship trying to defend that planet, he was nevertheless on a warship. I mean, that in and of itself would scream terrorism.
Or freedom fighter.
We keep coming back to that, don't we? Look, you get some sleep. You gotta be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed in the morning for court.
Well, where are you going?
I'm gonna go to the library, see if I can't dig up something. I'll see you in the morning.
Oh, thank God. Where the hell have you been?
I think I may have found out what your little buddy was up to. I just need to talk to him and confirm something. Where's he at?
I don't know. They keep putting me off every time I ask.
Well, that's not good. That's not good. What are you doing here?
Where else would I be?
I just thought after our last meeting you would be gone by now.
We can talk about that later.
All rise. The Honorable Robert L. Bentley presiding.
You may be seated. Colonel Massey, I understand you've gathered us here together for pretrial motions.
Actually, Your Honor, it's just one motion. Submitting my motion for summary judgment against the accused based on recording evidence we're going to submit to you now.
Objection, Your Honor. The council has not submitted this recording to us before this trial.
That's absurd. I assure you we have submitted every shred of evidence we have about the matter at hand.
Yeah, did you ever?
Order. That'll be enough out of you, investigator.
Begging the court's pardon, Your Honor. It's just that we just got discovery 12 hours ago, and we haven't had a chance to dig through the pile.
So you did get the information?
Yes, Your Honor. It's possible. But to say it may have been buried is an understatement.
Your objection is overruled, Counselor. For now. I'll hear the evidence.
If it pleases the court, we've managed to recover what we believe to be a final ship's log recorded by the accused. We believe that this will function in lieu of a guilty plea.
Ship's log, final entry. Our losses were heavy with almost 300 casualties, and the Armstrong herself destroyed. Early attack. An attack that I caused. I know it won't be long now. I've accepted the fact that all of this is my fault, and that my ship and my crew have been lost due to my actions. Only I should bear the guilt and be buried in shame.
As you can see, Your Honor, the accused in his own words believes we should blame him. Who are we to disagree?
Well, this is an interesting development. Ms. Strauss?
Yes, Your Honor. We don't even know what this recording was
According
regarding.
to the evidence logs, the recording was taken from the escape pod the
accused was recovered in. I understand your confusion, Your Honor, as the battle clearly had an adverse effect on the recording. But it is logical to conclude that the accused was discussing the battle that occurred before he was put into the pod.
And yet another lie.
Ms. Strauss, get your client under control.
How could you people? After everything I've done, you coward! Look at me, you son of a bitch! Order! I'm gonna kill you! Order!
That's enough! I will have order! Bailiff, remove Captain McGregor from the courtroom.
I will end you!
Your Honor, perhaps it'd be best if we set a date for final sentencing. The state would be fine.
Ms. Strauss, do you have anything relevant?
Yes, Your Honor. Please look at your pad. These are a series of images of the information provided to us by the state. Only 12 hours ago, and all in paper. We were given a digital catalog in code, however, we were never given a decryption key. As you can see, I have nothing. There's no way I could have prepared a reasonable defense, nor known where to begin under all the pile. I ask that you give me 48 hours. That's all we need.
Mr. Massey, did you really send all of this?
Of course, Your Honor. Complete disclosure.
So it would seem. All right. You have 48 hours. After that, if you don't have a reasonable explanation for this recording, I will expect a guilty plea, and we will then proceed directly to sentencing. This court stands in recess.
Disgraced UEA officer and alleged terrorist, Captain Royce McGregor, the state is seeking a summary judgment against the captain. If all goes as planned, the trial will begin tomorrow with sentencing to follow shortly thereafter. We will be bringing you all of the coverage on this historic trial as it unfolds. This is Erica Porter, UEA News.
Well, that sucked.
Yeah, not how I imagined my first court appearance.
No, I guess not. Well, at least we managed to buy him some time.
I don't understand his outburst in court. I mean, he made it sound like he was doing all this to protect his family, and that recording sounded like they're all dead.
Who knows? Guy's obviously crazy. Look, I've been over this recording 8 ways from Sunday. I can't find anything wrong with it.
He's adamant that it's a lie.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, peeps.
Hey, what was that thing you found?
Oh, that. Forget it, it was nothing.
Can't be worse than the nothing we're working with here.
How much do you know about the dark ops theory?
That nonsense? You're crazy.
Yeah, I know. It's all a bunch of shit conjured up by that dude on TV.
Right.
What if it isn't? Now, just go with me for a minute. The guy and his ship disappear. 7 years later, he shows up on a warship and destroys a planet. Now, where in heaven's name would he get that kind of technology?
All right. I'm listening. So let's say it's true.
Right. Let's just say. The UEA sets up a secret military organization. That way they can manage to comply with treaties, but protect their interests throughout the entire galaxy.
Now you're starting to sound like that crazy-haired bastard on TV.
Piss off, I'm on a roll. Now, occasionally, we even get some reports of ships of an Earth origin that can cloak.
Which is against, like, 5 treaties.
Yeah, something like that. Now, they got these ships. They're going to need somebody to run them.
So they choose...
Who knows? Anybody they can find with an axe to grind. But the point is, somehow they managed to get a hold of our boy.
If it's true.
Right. If it's true. What's the last information we have on McGregor's tenure before he went missing?
Ship coming back for a refit after a Vril encounter. No, the Vril encounter. The Mars colony defense.
That was an enormous victory for us. We never heard from the Vril after that.
No, that's not true.
Like hell it isn't.
No. Sam, look. 3 months later, they found debris of the Armstrong, and it had damages that were consistent with the Vril attack.
What?
According to this record, the last thing the Armstrong responded to was a distress call from a Dragor galleon under the command of a Captain Gorin.
Gorin. As in Ambassador Gorin. Where does that log say that distress call came from?
It doesn't. Oh, wait. Here it is. In orbit of Malir.
Malir. This thing isn't strong enough. If my hunch is correct, then Dark Ops found the survivors close to Malir. Now that's deep in Reticulan territory.
Limited access would make it easy to cover up. Nobody could access the data.
Yes and no. Reticulan tech is pretty savvy at keeping people out. But if you know some of the code...
What is that?
Deep space communication repeaters. They're how we move information all around the galaxy. Now, if we get rid of the Alliance-controlled receivers, find the closest Reticulan receiver to your planet, and... bingo! We're in.
Wait. Can you search this date range?
Yeah, sure. What am I looking for?
Any communications that might have been with a Dark Ops ship?
Okay. What the hell? Well, that's actually the Armstrong itself.
How is that possible?
Well, assuming they got off the ship, an escape pod would register that signal. Give me a second. There, we got an audio recording.
I don't hear anything.
Yeah, here. Try the headset.
Are we hearing this?
My God. What the hell are we in the middle of?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna set the system up to get this thing cleaned up and ready for court.
I'm going to call the magistrate and tell him we're ready to submit a plea.
A plea?
Pleas are broadcast.
Yeah, now you're thinking. I can't wait to see the look on Colonel Tightass's face. Excuse me.
Oh, where are you going?
To find the ambassador. We need fuel to go to our client with. That guy knows something, and I'm going to get it out of him one way or the other. I got to get changed and find him.
Good luck.
You too.
Colonel, a pleasure to see you. Your message said that you had an update on the trial.
Yes, Madam President. Good news.
Yes?
I just received notice that the defense is ready to enter their plea. Based on the little incident we had earlier today, I'd say we're about 24 hours from the end of this little mess.
Oh, outstanding. This administration owes you a great debt.
Happy to be of service, Madam President. I'll contact you when this is all completed.
You couldn't let him sober up before court?
All rise.
You may be seated. Ms. Strauss, I understand that your client is prepared to enter a plea.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Very well. How does your client plead?
Not guilty. He pleads not guilty, Your Honor.
Your Honor, may I remind the court that we have an open motion on the floor for summary judgment and is yet to receive a rebuttal from the defense. I assume we were here for a guilty plea?
Oh, we intend to answer that motion, Your Honor.
Then I'd suggest you do it. Quickly.
Your Honor, the recording that the state played was... It was planted, Your Honor.
Objection! Your Honor, Ms. Strauss has no right to accuse the state forensic team of any impropriety. Furthermore...
I'm not accusing anybody of anything. Yet. That recording was 7 years old. It dates from the disappearance of my client's ship, the USS Armstrong.
Your Honor, this is absurd. The Armstrong disappeared and was presumed destroyed more than 7 years ago. The investigation at the time found no logs of any kind on any Alliance nodes in the quadrant.
That's correct, Your Honor. There were no recordings of any kind on any nodes of the Alliances in the quadrant.
See?
However, they were on reticulin nodes. We have the actual recording, and it's much clearer than the state's evidence.
Overruled. Let's hear it, Miss Strauss.
Ship's log, final entry. It's been 14 days now since our engagement with the Vril. Our losses were heavy with almost 300 casualties, and the Armstrong herself destroyed. We're out of rations. Several officers have died from injuries sustained during the attack, an attack that I caused. I am sure the Alliance has already called off the search and labeled all hands as lost. I know it won't be long now. I have accepted the fact that this is all my fault, and that my ship and my crew were lost due to my actions. I alone bear the guilt for this loss. My crew should be given full honors for their sacrifice. Only I should bear the guilt and be buried in shame. At least I'll be with my wife again soon.
Well, it would seem we've lost our news feeds. Mr. Massey?
Your Honor, we don't even know if this recording is valid. Alien technology? How do we know it's even genuine?
The reticulans were exploring the galaxy while we were comporting ourselves in loincloths, Mr. Massey. Do you really expect me to believe that their data is flawed?
Your Honor, we have a corroborating witness if need be.
A witness? We weren't given any notice of a witness, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we didn't have time to notify the state of our witness.
Your Honor.
And because we thought he was only being brought in if the state required additional proof, we didn't see how it was necessary.
Given the enlightened information about your hardcore evidence, Mr. Massey, I should think witness testimony would be of great value to you. But as we have lost visual transmission, and we are not yet at trial, we will save such testimony for a later time. As to the motion at hand, Colonel, your motion for summary judgment is denied. That being decided, Ms. Strauss, your client's plea is accepted and entered into the record. Trial will begin 2 weeks from today. Oh, and Colonel, one more thing. I'd suggest you look into just how your team is collecting their evidence. Next time, I promise there will not be a sudden streaming outage to prevent our citizens from seeing you caught with your dick in your hands. This court stands in recess.
All rise. I want everything, Newman. Everything. If you want any more of this classified bullshit, you come and see me right away. I want to know the ambassador's relationship to the accused. I want to know how he's a part of this. And I want to find out who doctored that recording and planted it in the pod. And get me a meeting with the president.
Commodore, do you even recognize me? What have they done to him?
They've got him so sedated he can barely stand.
Made sure we couldn't get anything out of him.
I intend to speak to my client tomorrow, and he better be able to speak to me.
And they accuse us of being Neanderthals.
Ambassador, are you all right?
Yes, I'll be fine.
Look, I know we've already come a long way, but would you be willing to talk with us further tonight and let her know what you've told me?
Let me know what.
Dark operations. It's real. He's no terrorist. He's a hero.
In a shocking development today, the defense has entered a not guilty plea in the trial of Royce McGregor. UEA's own Erica Porter has this and more. Erica?
That's right, Steve. Crowds outside the courtroom were in shock as a new recording was played, bringing doubt on the evidence the state had previously submitted. One has to believe that this calls into question the validity of the state's claims against the formerly decorated UEA officer. Courtroom proceedings were interrupted by what Alliance Command is calling a technical error. Steve?
Thank you, Erica. Can you describe the crowd's response?
Initially, it seemed that the crowd was all for McGregor's execution. However, once the feed stopped, the crowd became unusually silent and moved off without another word. I'm telling you, it was one of the more shocking things I've ever seen. What they're thinking now, I don't know.
Thank you very much for your report. We will have more on the trial as the story develops. This is Steve Bethay for UEA News.
2 weeks. They've set the trial for 2 weeks, Wes.
More time than I need. Wild man to base. Nightingales in hand, we're heading in.
Acknowledged. Get back as soon as you can. Cross out.